They want to suck your blood. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 movie vampires. Number 10, Lestat de Liancourt, Interview with the Vampire.
I assume I need no introduction.
Also called the Brat Prince, Lestat is the vainest vamp on our list. It's only the finest for him, as he loves fashion, theater, literature, and all things beautiful.
Lord, what I wouldn't give for a drop of good old-fashioned Creole blood. Yankees are not your taste. Their democratic flavor doesn't suit my palate, Louis.
Sometimes a father figure to his friends, sometimes a dictatorial leader.
Claudia, what have we told you?
Never in the house.
This anti-hero lives more for carnal desires and less by his conscience than his companions. But if he's learned anything in his eternal life, it's how to come back from a loss.
I feel better already.
Number 9, Jerry Dandridge, Fright Night.
Welcome to Fright Night.
He's not the kind of vampire to be messed with. When his neighbor Charlie finds out his true nature, Jerry gives him a choice.
Forget about me, Charlie. Forget about me, and I'll forget about you. What do you say, Charlie?
But Charlie persists, so Jerry makes it his personal mission to ruin his life. And what follows is an intense cat and mouse game to the death.
What's the matter, Charlie? Scared? You started this, Charlie, and I'm gonna finish it.
We kind of feel for the guy, though. All he wanted to do was live in the suburbs.
Now that I've been made welcome, I'll probably drop by quite a bit. In fact, anytime I feel like it.
I'm Peter Lowe.
Rachel.
Number 8, Peter Lowe, Vampire's Kiss. Funny isn't the first thing that comes to mind when dealing with vampires, but that's the best way to describe Peter.
There you are!
Okay, maybe insane is a more accurate adjective. After a one-night stand, Peter believes he's been bitten and cursed, and even goes so far as to buy fake fangs and complain about sunlight.
Morning, everyone.
He really believes he's becoming a monster, but it could all be in his head.
I've become a vampire. Oh, God. Oh, God, where am I?
Either way, we're watching.
She's a goddamn vampire! She made me one, too! Look at her teeth! Look at her teeth!
Number 7, David, The Lost Boys.
You don't want to miss this.
As the leader of a punk-influenced gang, David is the perfect candidate to be the leader of a coven of vamps.
Michael, you're one of us! Let go! I'm to what? You are one of us, Michael!
When brothers Sam and Michael come to town, they meet the charismatic vampire, who soon tricks Michael into becoming a member of his undead clan.
Initiation's over, Michael. It's time to join the club.
Crafty and ruthless when it comes to changing his new recruit, David is the bad guy.
You did me!
But he's also kind of cool too, with his leather jacket, sunglasses, and white blonde hair.
You don't have to beat me, Michael. You just have to try and keep up.
Number 6, Celine, the Underworld franchise.
I'm Celine.
As the only female vamp on our list, Celine proves ladies can be as tough as the boys. She's the stuff of fantasies and nightmares as a death dealer and soldier in the underworld war between vampires and lycans.
Whether you like it or not, you're in the middle of a war that's been raging for the better part of 1,000 years. A blood feud between vampires and lycans. Werewolves.
Driven by vengeance after her family is killed, Selene must unravel an elaborate conspiracy before she can satisfy her thirst for retribution.
He gave me the strength to avenge my family. Since then, I've never looked back.
And along the way, she kicks plenty of ass. Number 5. Blade, the Blade Trilogy.
There are worse things out tonight than vampires.
Like what?
Like me.
Blade is one of the most interesting pop culture vampires. Part vamp, part human, he can walk in daylight, which earns him the name Daywalker.
The goal, of course, is to be like you. Daywalker. You got the best of both worlds, don't you? All our strengths, none of our weaknesses.
Blade uses his superhuman strength to hunt and kill other vampires, while at the same time fighting his own bloodthirst.
Come on, Daywalker!
While he is a walking weapon, scientists discover that in his blood there's a cure for the infection, which makes him an even more vital tool in the fight against vampirism.
I'm not human.
You look human to me.
Humans don't drink blood.
Number 4. Count Orlok, Nosferatu, A Symphony of Horror. We're used to seeing vampires with otherworldly beauty, but that's not the case with this character. While he's based on Dracula, Orlok looks more like a monster. Tall and thin with bony fingers and ghoulish eyes, he appears almost alien-like with a bald head and pointy ears. Though he lives apart from the townspeople because of his bloodlust, we get to see his creepiness in action once skeptic Thomas Hutter knocks at his door. Number 3. Count Dracula, the Hammer Dracula series. Christopher Lee's version of the famous Count Dracula is one of the most horrifying to date. Definitely one of the most bloodthirsty incarnations of the famous vampire on our list. Viewers watch in horror as he seduces and drains victim after victim. Obviously way past any feelings of humanity he may have once felt, Lee's Dracula has no apologies for his behavior. His ferocious portrayal was so mesmerizing, however, it produced a slew of sequels.
The Scars of Dracula.
Number 2. Count Dracula, Vlad the Impaler, Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Count Dracula.
I am Dracula.
Though he's rarely a sympathetic figure, you can't help but feel for this version of the Count.
The luckiest man who walks on this earth is the one who finds true love.
Gary Oldman's interpretation somehow makes it seem like Dracula still has some semblance of humanity. He's more of a tortured soul than a creature out for blood, as he mourns the death of his wife.
My prince is dead. All is lost without him. May God unite us in heaven.
This Dracula makes you think about the beauty of life and how its beauty may be in its fragility. But there's also the bloodsucking. Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are a few honorable mentions.
Is it not a fair trade, the life I have granted you, the gift of immortality?
And the life of your daughter? Your own flesh and blood?
I'm flesh and blood, but not human. I haven't been human for 200 years.
Ellie? Go away! Please leave.
Katna tik. Tenda tik. Tik shal. At.
And we have one dishonorable mention as well.
Say it.
Vampire.
Number 1. Count Dracula, Dracula. We had to give this spot to the original Transylvanian Count. Bela Lugosi's performance set the gold standard for vampire behavior, and every vamp since has been a pale imitation.
I am Dracula.
Mysterious and seductive, he draws victims in with his cultured manner and polite behavior.
I didn't know, but that you might be hungry. Thank you, that's very kind of you.
But he wins them over with his over-exaggerated accent, murderous eyes, and powers of hypnosis. His victims don't even know what hit them. Do you agree with our list? Which movie vampires do you find the most terrifying?
You want to kiss me, pretty boy?
For more bloodthirsty top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.